As you know, our conference theme is Less Way More, we're transforming our communities. We have four sub-themes, serving our community, environmental stewardship, team building, and so I would now hand over the floor to one of the delegates of the Barazza groups. If you guys have any questions, if you want to oppose or prove your point, please raise your hands afterwards. Are we cleared?
Yeah.
Thanks. Can we have someone from this Barazza group to stand up and speak?
Hello, I hope you can hear me. Hello guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Faiza from the Barazza group Malala Yousafzai. Our topic was serving our communities, and our group members and I had a discussion, and we found a few points that might come of use. So I'll start. Okay, we can serve our communities. Like, we actually serve our communities almost every day through random acts of kindness, or like reaching out to people in need whenever we see them. Like, you help a woman, an old lady cross the road, stuff like that. But for substantial changes to come into our community, we have to find solutions that are more worthwhile. We have gathered some points from personal experiences. I, for example, have volunteered in hospitals. So you can volunteer as a medical or we can all volunteer as a medical or non-medical volunteer, whichever skills that you have. You can donate blood, or you could even help out in, in hospitals, they have this certain, they have certain missions. Sometimes camps come along, like Hernia International. They might do a camp in a hospital. They might carry out a mission that they're going to perform a few surgeries, a few hundred surgeries. So you can volunteer in camps like that as a non-medical or medical volunteer. Then you can donate money, but donating money is not always substantial because the money may not be put to use. So you can even donate in kind. Like, you can donate winter clothes to those who need them. Then you can donate books to community schools. You can donate donate to cyclone prone areas with things that they may need, such as food supply or just regular clothing. I'm going to hand over the mic now to other members of the group.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Hello, I'm Tashfia Nahareen, and hello. Yeah, can you hear me? Okay, my name is Tashfia.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. So I'm going to speak about serving our community. We can serve our community like volunteering, like teaching underprivileged children and animal like shelter. We can do like a lot to help our community, and I'm gonna give it to Roy.
Do any of the group want the floor? Any questions or any thoughts regarding this? Whatever she said? Please raise your hand if you have any, if you want to oppose or have any problems. Yep. Any questions, thoughts, anything? Just raise your hand if you do. Raise your hands if you have any problems. If you want to oppose or give your opinions or thoughts. Nothing? Thank you. Well spoken. I'm giving the floor to one of the delegates from this group.
Hey guys, I'm Zaim Rahman from grade 11, and our topic was environmental stewardship, and we came up with 10 different challenges we face, and the challenges include global warming, deforestation, pollution, and we even talked about solutions to the problems such as sustainable development, and what we concluded that is um, we can't keep protecting the environment. But what we want to do is to create a world where the environment will not need protecting. And the solutions would include water conservation, sustainable development, and proper land reclamation. And thank you guys for listening. I would like.
So basically, he doesn't want us to protect our environment. He wants us to change and make sure we do not have to come to a stage where we have to protect our own environment. Pathways, I will now give you the floor. If you have any thoughts or questions, please let us know.
Yes, very well said that we do not have to protect our environment. We need to make our environment in a way that it is not protected, it protects itself. But my question was, did you guys only find out 10 problems of this world that really affect us? Because there are many problems that affect us, and we really need to salute all of them one by one.
We are aware that there are more than 10 problems, but we thought it would be more effective to list down the problems and face them one by one.
Yes, that is good. And so you guys are doing anything about those 10 problems? Anything, any actions that have been taken by your school or by you about those 10 problems? Or you want us to take that action, any action?
Well, if you were here, you would have seen that throughout the school there are recycle bins, and we even have a garden project backstage. And yes,
our school has been taking many actions actually.
So see, the thing you told that you have garbages and you plant trees is just standard stuff everyone can do. But the mainstream thing about your protecting your environment can be like changing the mindsets of the people around you. Like a short session we had with those people. Like we have all these illiterate people, like our drivers, our maids, and many these people. We can tell them
that is
not
a very nice solution. You guys are welcome to try it for yourself.
Education is the root to all solutions.
Okay. So we have this Barazza group has listed down 10. Lyceum wants to say something. I'm sharing the floor to. I'm giving this floor to Lyceum now. Yes, guys, you're on. Yes, speak. Lyceum, you can speak.
How do you plan on undoing the damages that already exist in the environment?
Can Lycia please repeat the question?
Yes. How do you plan on undoing the damages that already exist in the environment?
You see, the damages done to the environment, most of it, I don't think it can be undone. What's done is done. What we can do is work on the current situation and try to improve it. And what I suggest is, to stop, to reduce the use of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and other harmful gases. And, basically to achieve sustainable development, and move on.
Gu-
Thank you.
Guys,
I would like to answer Lysian's question if it's possible about how to
Absolutely.
undo everything we have done. So how to undo, it's a simple thing, don't do. Okay? Whatever we have done, the world, the nature will heal itself because the nature is a
excuse me, Pathways World School. I would like to tell you this again. You can only speak when we are giving you the floor. If you have to speak, you have to raise your hand. Please raise your hand if you want to oppose or give your own thoughts about. Yeah, we're giving you the floor. Feel free to speak right now.
So first, yeah, jokes apart. So what Lysim asked was that how to undo everything that we have done to nature. So what I think is that, what we think is that nature is a superpower. We are under nature, nature is not under us. So the only way possible to undo those are not doing anything else. The nature will heal itself. And why don't we go all natural? Okay, we use natural stuff, we use natural ways, and that will, I think, help the nature get better.
That will take a lot of time. For example, carbon emissions, for example. Now we can't undo, we can't take back all the pollution which we've already created.
Yeah.
For example, you want to go to a nearby market, say for example, so you can use a bicycle instead of a car. So these are the kind of ways we can make our earth more sustainable, and we can save our environment.
Or maybe use a solar powered car. So that's the only way we can
use
undo.
solar panels. We can save water by.
Yeah, this was our answer to the Lyceum Pakistan's question. Thank
you. I am now giving the floor to Lyceum to answer.
Thank you so much. Pathways World School. Firstly, I would like to bring to your attention, there's something called a carbon footprint. Each and every action that you are doing today and that you have been doing and that your parents and the people that lived before you in your separate country have been doing, it has left a footprint, has left a mark, and has taken something out of the earth. And this cannot be replenished. These resources are scarce. You need to understand that. And I don't think you've realized that. And these scarce resources are running out. And if we cannot, yes, they cannot be undone, what we have already done. But we need to take initiative. We need to come together. And as you pointed out, I would like to say something on behalf of Chittagong Grammar School. You fail to recognize the fact that this is a discussion. We are making proposals, proposing solutions for the future. If you're... Yes. So that's all I would like to say. My team member would like to ask another question on behalf of the Lyceum School from Pakistan. So I'd like to pass the mic on to her.
Thank you, Lyceum from Pakistan. Did you want to ask another question? Oh, yeah, of course. Yes, you're given the floor. You can ask.
Okay, thank you. So what I'd like to ask, I believe that the Pathways World School actually did give some solutions which were to use more solar powered cars and solar powered houses, I presume. That's what they gave. So, but my question is that all of us that are in this conversation right now, we're all from developing countries. We're from countries, so Bangladesh, India, Pakistan. The poverty levels are very high. So how do you propose that? I think what needs to be discussed is that how to implement solar powered energy or sustainable energy into our countries, when the majority of such places are like it's easier said than done because everyone's below the poverty line. Most people are below the poverty line. So I think that's something that can be worked on.
Yes, thank you for your views. I'm now giving the floor to Pathways World School. You can start answering right now.
So, the person said about changing and about solar power, and people are below poverty line. But I want to say something that these energies are so expensive because the people are manufacturing them, and if we manufacture them at a large scale, we can bring the prices of these energy, these solar powered cells down, and the windmills like.
So not only that, inspired by Mr. Corby and his work, I believe, the keynote speaker, Mr. Corby and his work, I believe foundations such as Jago should be launched in our Asian countries such as Pakistan, India, and Bangladesh, and educating everyone, getting them a good job, getting them good salary will increase our revenue, and that will increase our then we can buy solar powered panels, and then we can go for a good energy source. And
so all of it starts with education.
So we need to take the initiative to do it, because we are the young people, as Mr. Corby said. We have the power, we have the energy, and we have the time to do it.
We can kill poverty by educating them. Once they're educated, all the people who are underprivileged, they can start working, and that's how they can make more profit, more money. And all of us, just like Mr. Corby said, our keynote speaker, he talked about how we can take his model of Jago and implement his ideology in countries like Africa, India, Pakistan. So if we do that, we can eradicate poverty, and then we could come to a level so that we can have a sustainable environment.
And even we are also discussing, not pointing out. We are discussing to find solutions, not pointing out.
So again, development is a very important aspect, and so that everyone in this community can take steps for that. So as solar panel thing was concerned, like our school also have installed many solar panel plants in different villages, in different schools. So if every school, if every community takes some actions regarding it, take some small development initiatives. So this target is very well achievable in these developing countries.
Maybe that's going to be.
Thank you, Pathways World School. We would like to give the floor to Lawrence School. They have a question, or they would want to give their own thoughts.
Thank you. In a lushy area like ours, we have a water shortage right now. And because of that, we have a lot of problems. But because of these problems, everyone's realizing that we have to do something about it. And our schools always try to recycle, and they've always tried to conserve things. For example, we don't use heater for heating our water, we use solar energy. And is there any other way to deal with this water shortage? And there are only 29 days of water left. So if we in our school, so if we do not get that, we may have to go back. So is there any other way?
Lawrence School, you're at the Pathways World School. You will now have the floor.
Yeah.
Keep the mic like this up.
Okay. So as Lawrence School said that in an area like there's less water, there's water shortage, and actually the school is near our school. Even Gurgaon and Haryana region faces this problem. And I think the main reason for this problem is people like us who don't face the water shortage. So what we do is we keep the water taps on, and we don't realize how important our water is. So we just waste it, and everything becomes dirty, and then people are not using it.
Once you finish your country, you take off.
It's really important for young minds such as ours to create a developed and a better water recycling system. So water we waste can be used by everyone.
There also must be equality
like triple irrigation.
Distribution of the water resources. For example, we use a lot of it. Therefore, the poor people are facing shortages. So what we should do is that we should consume water to a limit.
Exactly, and even in pathways, so the water that we have used already, we recycle. So water our. You want to speak something?
Thank you for your suggestion.
Pathways, you guys, please do not touch your microphone or your cameras, because it's always moving. And could you please speak a little slowly? I'm giving the floor to Lawrence. I'm giving the floor to Lawrence School. Yes, you can speak.
Yes, thank you for recognition. We in India have PETA and PFA that run for the welfare of animals and protection of wildlife. For our information, we would like to know what is being done in Bangladesh and Pakistan for it.
Because animals are part of the
Because animals are very much a part of our environment. And what are the steps taken to them?
You are not in Pakistan.
Pathways, you can now have the floor.
Nobody answered our question.
Yeah, so as you said about animals, yeah, even I think animals are very important for our system because such as cows, they provide us with milk and there are many things. Okay, cows help us with the, growing crops and everything, agriculture. So yeah, it is really important. But, animals, this is like only, we can protect animals by only convincing people. You can't force them, okay? So there are people in India who are non-vegetarian or vegetarian. They kill animals, they eat them. So this is something that is emotionally related. You can't really tell them that you don't do it. So yeah, it's also it's a religious aspect, and you can't really force people to come out of the religion and say, please don't kill
They
this
also
kind
do
of
it for
animal.
economic purposes,
Exactly.
such as they do poaching and butchering. That means they kill animals for
Earning
example,
money.
for earning money by
Because they're not educated. Because they're not educated. So if they're educated,
So basically, the base of everything is education.
Yeah, the base of everything is education.
Pathways, World School, can you not debate among yourself and speak one by one? Yeah. Yes, you can.
Education, it plays a main role about protecting the animals. But one counter argument that I have is that all these when you butcher animals, their skin, they go to these black markets, and all the rich, educated people, they buy them. So it's that we people, we buy these animal skins and all these animal elephant tusks and that rhinos, what do you call that? Horn, the rhino horn. So we are the people who buy these things, and because of our demand of these things, people are killing these animals, poaching them. So the thing is, we need to stop demanding them so that the people, they don't kill these animals or don't poach them. For to achieve that, according to us, awareness should be emphasis on awareness should be even more. So if there is more awareness, every people know what's happening, everyone starts bringing up more education, then things can really change.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Pathways World School. Lyceum, we will give you the floor, but after, and Lawrence too, we will give you the floor after a delegate from our Barazza group is done discussing about and talking about this topic. Thank you.
Hello guys, I'm Idrak. Basically, I'd like to answer a question raised by Pathway School about uh, the Pathway School. What steps we have to take for the animal thing. So basically, the first thing that we're doing in Bangladesh is the country. In our country, I think you're aware that we have Sundarban. So basically, what we are doing is we're not letting them, we're not letting people hunt the animals that they live. So there are a lot of endangered species in Bangladesh at the moment, but we're doing our best to make sure that they're not extinct. Obviously, there are certain limitations in this because we don't have our, since we're a third world country, our priorities are not like keeping like our economy has to be like way better if we have to prioritize the endangered species. So the number of tigers, like if you statistically, if you Google, then you'll see the number of tigers have grown actually in the past 5 years. So basically, we're doing the best, although we're struggling economic wise. In our country, we're doing whatever we can as citizens, as good citizens, to make sure that whatever we have, we keep it. So Royal Bengal tigers that you might have heard of, even the cricket teams that we play. So basically, we're doing the best that we can to make sure that they're not extinct. So that's the step that in Bangladesh we're taking. So
pathways, I think you have your answer. Uh, and other schools, you have the answer. And I thank you.
Thank you, Idrak, for your thoughts. I would now like to give the floor to Lyceum Pakistan. Yes, Lyceum Pakistan, you can start speaking.
Hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. You see, basically, it's an interesting debate about the animal protection and all that, and especially because I've been following it up during these days. First of all, I think it's very commendable what Bangladesh has done. So from Pakistan to Bangladesh, literally congratulations, and we hope you keep doing uh, that in the future. You see, I think when you're talking about any debate, any, whether that's animal, whether that's the environment, whether anything, you see, you need to resonate with people. And what I've noticed is people want to ask, why should we care? How does this affect us? What does a dog's health on a street have to do with me? And I think, this question is something we need to start thinking about. How do we tell people that this affects you? And pathways did actually give some very important points. Like, you actually use animals for your own daily use and for your own processes. But you see, it's not, it is the cattle and donkeys on the farm who are being abused, but there are other animals too. There's a cat. What will that cat do to you? So I think they did raise an interesting point, but we actually should discuss a little on the idea that how do we get people to understand that these things do affect them in a way. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your thoughts. Thank you for
I'd
the
like
question.
to.
You would like to speak more?
Yes, please.
Yes.
I just have a small question. We were
Yes,
told
sure.
to speak about team building on behalf of the Lyceum School and participate in the Barazza discussion. I
Yes.
don't think we touched upon that point, or will we in this
We
discussion?
will be touching upon that point.
All right.
I will give you the floor when we are actually talking about team building. I would now love to give the floor to Lauren School, who probably will talk about environmental stewardship or the
Yeah,
question.
come on.
Thank you.
So I'd like to take the discussion to another dimension. Well, as a school, we've organized many street shops for the poor people so that they can get, they have enough clothes to them. So as a boarding school, could you all suggest us a few ways so that we could do more for them? It's a cold area.
Can you please repeat the question one more time?
Street shops, say clearly. As a school, we have organized many street shops for the poor people. So we would want more suggestions so that we could do more for them. And it's a hill terrain. And it's a hill terrain, so it's pretty cold here.
Okay, so I would like to give the floor to IHS. You have the floor. You can start speaking now. Yes, Pathways, we will give you the floor later on.
Hi, I'm Yash from IHS, and we're a school located in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. United Arab Emirates, being a desert country, is very scarce in water. So we over here are very prominent about water scarcity, as well as animal protection, as well as energy for future generations. We believe that water scarcity is one of the major issues, and I agree with the Pathway School in saying that we must conserve water as much as we can. And we in the UAE have also invented various ways of reducing water wastage while during agriculture. For example, we invented the drip irrigation system, which uses 40% less water. And we also care a lot about waste management, pollution, as well as conserving animals, and helping to give them a better life. If you check on Google a couple of years ago, the Arabian oryx was extinct in the wild, and there are only around at that time there were only around 15 to 20 in captivity. We had to breed these animals as well as bring them back to the wild, and now the population is slightly increasing. So we believe to make a change through these steps. And at the UAE, being a desert country, there is a lot of sunlight available. So we have set up various parks, sunlight parks throughout the UAE, as well as we've invested in hydroelectric power too.
Great, great. Thank you, IHS, for your views. Thank you for the sustainable development, all the things, all the initiatives taken. I'm unmuting Anuvid and Harsh from IHS. You guys have the floor. Feel free to speak.
Okay, guys. So we would like to elaborate on what Yash has stated. Now, UAE, still being a desert region, has plenty supplies of water, but is getting used up pretty fast. So they have implemented several plans.
We are
sorry to
more
interrupt
of a
you
modern
now.
country, and we are still in agriculture. We use drip irrigation.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Could you please speak a little slowly?
Can you guys hear us?
Yes. Speak,
Slowly,
speak.
slowly.
Okay. UAE being a desert country, even though we are nearby the sea, we still want to save the water. What we have implemented is hydroponics, aeroponics, and drip. Many new methods have been searched just to save water. We are recycling and reusing water wherever we can.
So we would like this initiative to be taken up by the different schools present over here, and yeah, we would like to conclude with that.
Thank you for your suggestions. We would absolutely love to install them if we can. Thank you for your suggestion. I would now give the floor to Pathways and then followed by Lawrence. Pathways, you have the floor.
As the school in Sanar asked us that what they can do being a boarding school for the community. Even Pathways is a day boarding and boarding schools, and I already have mentioned, I think that each of our students has her or own personal project. And the boarders out here educate the children of the people in our school, the support staff and the children of the support staff. So the school which is boarding, they can help. So they can educate the support staff and the children. They can celebrate with them in like different days, such as Independence Day, and they can do something for the community.
As we have boarding schools who started sending in this new school, so weekly we have different and various activities where everyone is involved, from every student, from every village, any community, everyone celebrates it together.
Okay.
Thank you. I would now give the floor to Lawrence School.
Discussing, it's fun.
Yeah, we can hear you. You can start. Thank you.
Yeah. I would like to appreciate the suggestion given by Pathways. We would like to tell us some of the initiatives we have taken. We have a lot of steps for recycling the waste. We segregate the waste and decompose it. And we have, after the annual exams, we give our books to the underprivileged ones. So could you tell us some steps we can do?
On for the screening the value.
On green and recycling.
You would like to have suggestions from Pathways?
Why don't you also give some suggestions when we're asking for rejection? Pathways,
you have the floor.
Yeah, we could actually, there was some technical difficulty. We couldn't hear the question. Can you repeat it, please?
Lawrence School, can you please repeat the question?
We have a lot of steps for recycling the waste. We segregate the waste and then we recycle it. And we, after the annual exams, we give the books to the underprivileged ones. So, Pathways, could you tell us some suggestions
So further recycling.
for the recycling and making the community clean?
Yeah. Yeah, we have a suggestion from him. He's doing a project, so he will explain you how you can do it.
So our project consists of vermicomposting in a boarding school. Waste generated, food waste, paper waste, like everything. So daily, what we do is we have a vermicomposting pit. In that pit, we collect waste from our canteen. Where we get the food waste and some papers. We put them all together, and daily we carry out activity making some groups. And for that, after some time, we have a good manure. And for that manure is used in school to grow more trees. And so this project we are performing. And
wrapping up what he said, basically said that every school has some food waste by the student. And it is inevitable. But you know, the food which is taken, okay, these people, him and him, they're doing a personal project. As I said, each student has his own project. So what these people are doing is getting it into manure, which can be used in agriculture. That way we are recycling and reusing the food that we waste. Thank you.
Thank you for your thoughts. I would like to give the floor to IHS. Yes, IHS, you can speak.
So I would actually support the point given by Pathways about the recycling about the canteen food. It's actually done here in Dubai in almost all schools, where the leftover food is used as some sort of manure for the lawns in the lawns of the schools.
A bit slower.
Stressing on that, I would also like to talk about the various energy resources, talking about various energy resources that are possibly getting over right now, and they're possibly meant to be extinct in the future generations, such as the non-renewable resources. This is also one of the main points of the environmental stewardship. So many important natural resources like oil, coal, natural gas, these are being used at a very fast rate. And right now, the people who don't think of this as a very current situation right now, they're thinking like, okay, it's in the future, we'll think of it later. But right now, there's a list that has come out about countries that might go extinct in the next 100 years because of this problem. So this problem also needs to be taken into consideration so that our future generations are safe as well.
Thank you. Thank you for your thoughts. I would like to give the floor to Lyceum Pakistan.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Let's. We'd like to propose that we move on the discussion to the next topic, the next subtopic, whichever one you choose that should be.
Yes, thank you for your thoughts. I would like to, but there was a slight problem with the sound, I guess, but we could not really hear you properly. So can you speak again?
Yes. I would like to propose that the Lyceum School proposes that we move on the discussion. I feel like we've discussed this subtopic thoroughly, and we should move on to the next subtopic.
Yep. Yes, we are moving on to the next topic. The next topic is team building. Lawrence School, you will be getting the floor later. Lyceum, you can talk about the team building right now. You have the floor.
Thank you. So we were given 25 minutes as a Barazza team, and we were told to discuss, come up with suggestions about team building and how the team should be built to be the most effective and the most efficient. And I, as the team leader,
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt you. Speak a little louder.
Am I audible? Can everybody hear me now?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, so we'd like to start presenting what all we've discussed. I'd like to request my team member to introduce the topic and start the discussion.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, can you hear me? So my name is Hamza, and basically we believe that for a good team to be successful, we need to have certain values and certain things that we need to inculcate within our team. And one of those is unity. We all need to be united towards a common goal. We need to have some level of trust, and we need to be supportive of other people. And we should have a sense of loyalty towards what we're doing and towards the team. So my team member Harshan is going to build on that further.
As he said, no team can be made, and the only foundation of each and every team is trust. And from trust stems loyalty. And only once you are loyal to yourself and to your cause and to your team members can there be unity and cohesion between the team members. Next, we'd like to say that it is important for a strong and effective team for each and every team member to have very strong links of communication amongst themselves and the team leader. And there needs to be understanding and cooperation. And most importantly, each team member should be very supportive of their own cause and each and every other team member's weaknesses and their shortcomings.
Thank you, Lyceum Pakistan. Lawrence School, you will be given the floor later on. We have a delegate from our Barazza group who would like to speak about team building.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
I do not believe we've finished this discussion. We have more points that we'd like to raise.
I'm really sorry, but we're running a little out of time. You can give. I will give you the floor later on. We will discuss about this topic more. Now I'm giving the floor to Idrak, one of the delegates from the groups. Thank you.
Thank you, Lyceum, for bringing the topic, team building. So basically what I want to say about the question that you raised, like we need to have trust for team building, and I strongly agree. The thing is, I've played in a football team, and what I've seen is there's no team leader kind of thing. There has to be one person who brings everyone together without like letting people argue among themselves. But for team building, what we basically need to do is make sure that everybody sits together, everybody shares their opinion, everybody agrees to the opinion. Even if they have disputes among the opinions given, they have to somewhat agree to it. So basically, if you see like no one person in a team can make a huge impact, but a small contribution from each team member can give a huge team bolster the confidence of the team. So basically, what we need to do is make sure that everybody's opinion is expressed in a way, and what the team leader should do is make sure that everybody somewhat agrees to the opinions raised. Thank you. That's what I like to say.
Thank you for your thoughts, Idrak. I would now like to give the floor to Lawrence School. Lawrence School. Yeah. Yes, you
I
can
would
speak,
like
Lawrence.
to combine team building and service. Like Anshu Gupta, he started a program called Gunj, which helps a network of people who are self-motivated to improve the unprivileged. I would like Pakistan and Bangladesh to join this movement. Who's the person who started Anshu Gupta? CEO of Gunj. He's the CEO of Gunj, Anshu Gupta. And he works for the unprivileged people.
I'm sorry, couldn't hear you properly. Can speaker please stand up or raise a question?
I would like to combine team building and services. Anshu Gupta is CEO of Gunj, who started a program called Gunj, which helps the people, unprivileged people. We met him in the Singapore International School, Mumbai. So we would like the Pakistan and the other schools to join this movement. And take it forward in their own countries.
Thank you for your views and your opinions. Lyceum School, Pakistan, I'm giving you the floor. Would you like to speak something or say something about their own suggestion?
Apologize for interrupting and raising my hand during the Lawrence School when they were speaking, but it was only to say that we couldn't hear them properly and we couldn't understand what they.
Thank you. Lawrence School, I'm sorry to tell you the sound quality, there's some technical difficulties in your sound system probably, and we can actually hear the echoes. So can you please repeat the question? Only one speaker.
My friend, she went for a round square in the Singapore International School, Bombay. And there she met a man who was Anshu Gupta, and he was the CEO of the Gooch organization. It helps all the underprivileged children to have a better education. I believe that I think all of us feel that all countries should follow this. The people from Bangladesh, from IHS, and from Pakistan.
So he has a network of motivated builders.
He has a network of all the people who are inspired and who believe that they should help the world.
Thank you for your views. Lyceum, Pakistan, you have the floor. Later on, Pathways, you will have the floor. Yes, Lyceum. Yes, you can speak. We can't really hear you.
Can you hear me now? Okay. Basically, I'd like to say that the Lawrence School is right, and we need these sort of initiatives in almost every country now, and I think every, honestly. And the Lyceum actually runs a free school for the underprivileged, where the students from Lyceum actually go and teach every weekday for 2 hours, and it's one of the initiatives, and we understand it's exactly, it's not something grand, yeah, like 50-60 students, but I think, when we start projects at a small level like this, if we ask every A-level college to try to do this, we take out 2 hours of our time every week to go and teach them, and it actually helps. So yeah.
Thank you, Lyceum School. I will now give the floor to a delegate of CGS and then Pathways. Pathways, yeah, you can have it later. Yes,
Sorry, guys, if you're not sorry. I'm going. I'm going to. I'm speaking a lot, but for this community school thing, CGS has done a lot. At the beginning, we students volunteered to go to community schools to help the underprivileged students. But now we have in 2011, CGS has started its own community school. So for now, we have 6 schools in Chittagong and Dhaka. These are 2 cities in our country. So basically, we have a widespread basic network in Bangladesh. So CGS has around 378 students at the moment, like basic in community schools. So basically, it's a huge achievement despite all the obstacles that we're facing in this country. I am proud to say that CGS has done this for our country. So 378 students, 378 more educated people in the country. Lyceum, if you have a question, please.
Yes, Lyceum. You have the floor, Lyceum. Can't hear you.
So returning back to the topic of team building, we believe that respect diversity, and inclusion. These three words paint a vivid picture of an effective and a successful team. And we believe that recognizing the abilities of our team members and respecting and trusting in our team members is an imperative component of a successful team. With that being said, we need to understand that a team comprises of people from an array of different backgrounds, different cultures. And for that purpose, we need to we need to understand that discrimination on the basis of gender, religion, cultures should be avoided in order for having a successful team. Yeah. So adding to her point, I just want to add one more thing to it, that when you're making a team, it's all about democracy. It's all about whose opinion you have to take and whose opinion you should respect. And I know that makes absolutely no sense, because honestly, everybody's opinion matters. And that is the essence of the team. It's the individual differences of people. It's their right to speak. So we usually hear, that people say sacrifice for the sake of the team, but we believe it's true. You have to sacrifice from time to time, but you are a person and you're in that team, and your individuality adds to the team as well.
Thank you. I think another important, I think one of the negative qualities that we as humans have is often we have a lot of pride. Sometimes we have pride and arrogance in our abilities and this can often get in the way of it. This can often get in the way of the success of the team, because I think that when you join a team, you should leave quality things like pride and arrogance behind you, and you should be understanding and you should be accepting and of others in your team, and you should not feel that your abilities outweigh the abilities of others on your team, but you should feel that when you're part of a team, every person in that team is an equal, and you're all on the same level, and you all are working towards one goal.
Excuse me. Hello. Can everyone hear me? Okay. Now, adding to the whole discussion on team building, I would like to add that responsibility and accountability play a major role in team building and successful achievement of our goal. You see, I'd like to bring up the analogy of parenthood. Both the parents, they are responsible for bringing up their child. Both of their successful teamwork, their responsibility, it it enables them to be responsible for their care of their child, and it enables them to see their child's future as a successful one, so that that child may become successful and also bring about change in his or her country and make it successful as well. Now,
So what we feel.
Lyceum, thank you. We're running a little short out of time. IHS Group 2, I'll give you the floor, and then Pathways. Sorry for the inconvenience. IHS, can you please speak up?
Yeah, guys, can everyone hear us?
Yeah, sure. Shoot.
This is not a thing which one person or one country should do. It should be what everyone does. So whatever we decide, it should be what everyone does. We can't depend on one person. So for this, everyone needs to give in their opinions and make one great idea.
Yes, it cannot be a one-man initiative. It has to be a team effort.
Thank you for your thought.
Okay, guys, we would like to go to the second IHS group.
Okay. Thank you for your thoughts. Pathways, World School, I'm giving you the floor right now.
Thank you for the recognition. Thanks for the recognition. What I wanted to say was that
A bit louder. Sorry. Sorry for interrupting. Can you speak a little louder?
Yeah, I totally agree with Lyceum School's perspective. We must be global citizens by having internationalism, and we must also understand what democracy is. if we have the knowledge of civil rights and the ability to understand how our society works, this will enable participation and action and builds capacity to make a difference. Once we're educated and we know about how our country works, and also when we're global citizens, meaning we appreciate, value, and respect our cultures, religions, creeds, then we can make a difference. And that's how we can go about it. Thank you.
And adventure and leadership, it all starts with you. And we also have actually we really appreciate Lauren's project. They talked about Goonj, and it's a project near us, and we will try our best to get in touch with Goonj and follow that project. And we also have something similar like that right now, and we will explain a little bit more about it. So it's called Tirelessly.
So guys, so this is a guy in 12th grade from our school. They started this a social enterprise known as Tirelessly. So what this enterprise does is it collects all these the abandoned tires which are left, or these tires which the owners they don't want, and they recycle them so that they aren't burned, and so that we protect the environment, and we can use these the rubber from these tires in a different way, like we can recycle them, or we can use them for industrial purposes. So what the main thing that this for the social enterprise does is about recycling these tires. Its base is about recycling, but now when I talked to this person, he told me that he is now opening up a manufacturing plant about recycling itself.
We would also like to talk about the topic of women empowerment. One of the pass-outs from our grade 12 has opened an organization called Make Love Not Scars. Now what happens, there are many acid attack victims. So what she does is she makes videos of those people, and then there's this charity organization for those women who are acid attack victims, which is a really good service.
Thank you. Now I would love to give the floor to IHS Dubai 1. Thank you.
Yeah. So as we were talking about team building before, we believe that it's a really integral part, because as Group 2 said, not one nation can just do anything they want and just finish up all sorts of poverty or all sorts of situations in this world. I believe that both the topics are interrelated, like environmental stewardship and team building. This is why we believe in team decision and support this.
Hello. Thank you, IHS Dubai 1. I would like to give the floor to Lawrence School. Guys, we are running a little out of time, so last 5 minutes for the Barazza discussion.
Yeah,
Yes, Lawrence.
A great job by Pathways about the initiative. I would like to share an example about team building. So the schools at Ooty, about 5 schools at Ooty, we joined together and we went around Ooty cleaning and decorating things, and we named it Make Ooty Beautiful. Yeah, we paint all the bus stops, and we clean the public places, and yeah, it is a really great experience because we all joined together, and it was a really great team effort.
Thank you, Lawrence School. I'm giving the floor to Lyceum now.
So I'd like to elaborate on what the Pathways School spoke about, and that was democracy. So I think I'd like to bring up a point about team building, which is leadership. So a leader, like it or not, I feel like a leader is a very important part of the team, and a leader is the differentiating factor between a democracy and a dictatorship. So a leader needs to keep in mind that he is someone who keeps in mind that all of the members of his team, so all of the members of his team are individuals with opinions and who deserve respect and who deserve to be included. So, and he also needs to keep in mind that they all can be from different backgrounds, and so that is something he needs to keep in mind. Especially something that I'd like to bring up is servant leadership. So that is a concept of a leader not being someone who dictates above his team members, but someone who works for his team members. So he is the servant of his people, of his team. Thank you. Yes, Bob.
Thank you, Lyceum. I'm giving the floor to Pathway and then a delegate from CGS to close it off.
Being the last few minutes of the conference, I would like to really thank Chittagong Grammar School for arranging this and putting on all the hard work, and all the school for putting in their ideas. And I hope all the school take these ideas and work upon it, create their own projects, develop their own projects, and everyone makes their own project so we can work on it.
Because this can be integrated and given as a model followed by all the
All of us. Yeah.
And that's how we can work on it.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Absolutely love it. And now I would like to give the floor to our last speaker. You would have to bear with him for one last time.
Hi, guys. Again, I'm sorry, but to end this, I hope you guys had an amazing time. I can see everybody's eager to speak, so I'm sure it was a success. Thank you to the organizing team in CGS to make sure that this happened. Basically, the last thing that I want to say is I want to end this on a good term. So let me make a joke, but it's also related to the topic. I'm sure you watch cricket. Everybody watches cricket, right? So basically, for team building, what I can say is I don't know if you've seen the recent match, but Bangladesh lost to New Zealand. In the match, what happened was Shakib Al Hasan. I'm sure you've heard of him. He's #1 all-rounder in cricket right now. So basically, he scored a double century. So from my side and everybody else in this room, we all thought Bangladesh is going to win the test match, their first test match in New Zealand. So what happened afterwards was surprising. Basically, Bangladesh lost the match. Even though Shakib Al Hasan scored 200 runs, which is huge, Bangladesh putting up a score of 500 plus in the match. In the second innings, the whole team couldn't score 100 runs, 200 runs, something like that. So basically what happened was, even though there was individual brilliance, the team couldn't work together, and so we lost the match. So which comes back to the point that team building is important for every participant to make contributions, even if they're small. Say, even if the whole team had 50 runs for each player, not 200, just 50 runs for each player. So that equals 11 players into 5, which is 550 runs. So we could have won the match if everybody contributed a small part, not the huge part. So basically what I want to say is in team building, everybody has to contribute. There is no one person who has to make sure that he outscores everybody. So that's my point, and I hope you loved this. I'm sure that you guys, the eagerness that you've shown to to speak, I'm sure that this was a great session for every one of us. Thank you to the organizing team, Moin Bhai and everybody here around here. I want a huge round of applause for him. He and the other members, they've actually made sure that this was possible. And finally, thank you.
Guys, I'm now unmuting everyone. If anyone has to say, please feel free to say. Yes, let's go.
It was a great honor and a pleasure to converse with so many different countries and learn about what all of you do over there.
And
grade 9.
being students of grade 9, it's our first experience of something so different. And thank you.
Thank you, Lawrence School. I'm giving the floor to Lyceum.
We'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone present, especially Chittagong Grammar School, for organizing this and taking the initiative in bringing together the countries and building bridges. And you are doing nothing but something positive, and I feel and I hope that this initiative that your school has taken comes through and bears fruit. And I hope that all of us can in the future work together towards finding better solutions in making this country, this world a better place. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Can I have, I'm giving the floor to IHS Group 1.
We would like to thank the Chittagong Grammar School for organizing this event. And this was a really great learning experience for all of us. And we would like to leave you guys with this message: awareness is the cure. We would like to create awareness about these various 4 main topics about our lifestyle. Only then can we find solutions to these problems. Only then can we be able to implement these solutions. So thank you so much, Chittagong Grammar School. It was a really great experience for all of us. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Group 1. Group 2, you now have the floor.
And on behalf of the whole of IHS, we would like to thank the Chittagong School for organizing this event. And this is one of a kind of the Round Square conferences, it being a virtual one.
Thank you. Yes, Pathway is cool. We can see your muscles.
Thank you so much. I hope we have a wonderful conference next week.
Yes. IHS Group 2. Yeah. Pathways, anything else except your muscles?
We really want to thank Chittagong School for organizing this for organizing this virtual round square, and we really enjoyed this discussion, and I hope we really. So by this, there is more development in the society, and hope there will be more of inequalities and every aspect.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
So,
you.
as we all know, we need to get a thing successful. We need a good team to have a good.
3, 2,
So, to get a job done, we need a good team. For a good team, we need a good leader. And guys, thank you for being a part of the first ever virtual conference in the 150 years of Round Square history. Guys, thank you for participating. Sorry for the glitches and any inconvenience caused. I hope you loved it. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.